From Forex Traders Daily, this is your daily analysis with Ross Mullins, live from Richmond, Virginia.
Hello everyone, this is today's video analysis for October 18th, 2017. Today we're going to be taking a look at the AUDUSD, the Australian, versus the US dollar for today's trade analysis. We're starting here on the daily time frame, of course, and looking at the longer term trend, we can see this blue trend line coming up from the bottom of the chart all the way back from May of this year. We started rising from the low 73s all the way up to the 8100 level, so a significant uptrend. Throughout that uptrend, we see periods of support, resistance, and congestion throughout that uptrend. Recent weeks, we've seen a fall of that trend, or a retracement of that trend, all the way back down here into the 7700 level from the top along the black trend line. Now, the past week or so, we've seen a pullback of that trend, where we've seen the market go back up a little bit. Some interesting things of note is the 100 period moving average. We were below it a little bit, didn't stay below it, we're now back above it, coming very close to it as support. Looking down at the very bottom of the chart, the Forex Black Book momentum indicator is signifying a bearish momentum or bearish trend expectation for the Australian dollar, and that is in agreement with the black trend line. You know, we saw even earlier within the trend, we saw the market bounce pretty high up back towards the 8100 level and turn back down. So it's not out of the ordinary for the trend now that we see a pullback and then a return lower, a pullback, could see a return lower. We'll have to wait and see. Let's take a look at some historical support resistance. Look along the orange shaded area. Of course, 3 days ago, we found resistance 78.80, 79.05 for a couple of days and then push back down to the yellow shaded area. Follow it back in time. The green and the black circle shows his significant historical support along that same orange shaded area, 78.80, 79.05. Look along the yellow zone where we're currently finding support yesterday and today, but several days ago. The blue circle here along the black trend line, the blue circle back here on the left, and all the way on the left-hand side, the blue circle shows resistance, support, support. So we know that the yellow zone is a significant decision area as well. And that's really what these colored shaded areas on the chart represent. Significant decision points. Sure, we can call them in a general term support resistance, but we need to understand what's happening around these levels. There are decisions being made. Buyers exiting, sellers entering, sellers exiting, buyers entering. We call them support and resistance, but that's really the price action or the trading actions that are happening around these colored shaded areas. So in the recent days, we've seen resistance and sellers entering around the orange shaded area, 78.80. Right now, we're finding support and sellers maybe not exiting, but we don't really see any information about buyers entering either. If it was to break through the yellow zone, sellers stay in control, 100 period moving average as well, then we might expect it to go lower. Of course, the next area lower and the next decision zone that we've seen on the chart is down here towards the green shaded area in the 77.50, 77.25 level. So these are some of the areas that we would be paying attention to. Mostly the yellow zone shaded area today for the Australian dollar. So here we are, yellow zone 78.25, 7800. As long as it's above it, history tells us that it's going to be support. If it gets below it, history tells us that it goes down to the green zone. So those are some of the things that we're going to watch for. The setups that we want to watch for are in agreement with that. We want to see it either break through or bounce off. Let's take it down to the 4-hour time frame, the same yellow shaded area right here. There's nothing really new about it, but it gives us a little zoomed in view. I do want to point out back here where the little circle is, the little black circle, shows the market clearly getting under the yellow zone and clearly an open and close, and then went down to the green zone. We haven't seen that yet, but we don't really see any indication that buyers are taking control yet today either. We would typically look for some price action that indicates buyers. If you look back here where the blue circle is, you can see there was price action. There was a dip into it and sudden infusion of buy orders, a dip into it and sudden infusion of buy orders, sending it back higher. We don't really see that happening dipping into the yellow shaded area. So a couple of things to watch for today, and I'm going to draw it out as a couple of candlesticks here. And let's make this one blue, and we'll make a red candlestick as well. We'll just draw them out so we can really give some illustration of what we might expect to look for the day today. One is we look for it to break through the yellow shaded area, get underneath it, and then we look for it to go down to the green zone. Why? Because that's what happened over here. The black circle, remember, it got through it and then it went down to the green shaded area. The second thing we could look for is a sudden infusion of buy orders. Sometimes we look for it to be an engulfing candle, sometimes we look for it to be a hammer candlestick, but we look for some indication of a sudden infusion of buy orders, and then we look for it to go back up towards the orange shaded area. So these are the types of things that we're going to look for around the yellow shaded area today, 7,800, 7,825 for the Australian dollar.
From Forex Traders Daily, this has been your daily analysis with Ross Mullins. If you would like to get Ross's analysis on all the currency pairs he's watching and all the trades he takes today, join him in his live trade room by clicking on the link below. Please leave any comments you have about today's video in the comments section below.